Hi, and thanks for joining me today. So I have just received the Tonic Studios Craft Kit number 40, and not too long ago I recorded my unboxing video, and I didn't think I would sit down and start die cutting right away, but I was just really curious as to how everything looks. And when I was doing my unboxing, I couldn't read out one of the dies, which cuts out a little sentiment. So I wanted to check that out for myself, and it says with love, so super cute. Um, but anyhow, I thought that I would just put the box together so that I could see the dies in action, the shapes that they make, the patterns that they cut out. And because I don't have any concrete ideas yet for what I'm going to do for my flip video, where I make cards using this set and try to make at least one flat, one layered, one interactive, and one pop-up card, I sometimes it can help me to just die cut it and use the dies the way that they're designed or intended to be used, just so that I can get a sense for the shapes and, as I mentioned, the shapes and the patterns, and maybe sometimes that jogs some creativity. So I thought that since I was going to put the box together, that I should just record a little tutorial on how to put the box together. I also want to say at the outset that I'm not using any of the specialty card or cardstock that came in the kit, nor am I using any of the Nuvo products. I kind of like to save those for when I do my flip. Although the Nuvo products are plenty generous, so I can use that for both. But a lot of times with these boxes, if you start cutting into the specialty card, I mean, you need a full like 8.5 by 11 sheet to just die cut the main parts of the box. So that right there would use up an entire sheet of card. So I did already go ahead and die cut everything, and I've even put on some of the decorative panels, so everything is pretty much ready to go. So when you sit down to do this, you'll want two pieces that of basically everything that is the base of your box. And what I did is, even though the die does deboss a score line where you're meant to fold or bend your card, I still take the cardstock to my scoreboard and I just score right over top that line just to give it a deeper score, because the cardstock that I'm using has a little bit of a tendency to crack, and so I find that the score line that the die puts in just really isn't enough. And so just for that little extra guarantee of a smooth bend, I go ahead and rescore on all of those lines. All of your folds are going to be mountain folds, so just your standard folds. You don't have to necessarily fold everything down super flat, because most of these are just going to hang out at 90-degree angles anyways. So you'll have two of these. These with the more decorative edges, these are going to be your box lid, which I've used some of that iridescent mirror card. Love it. And then with the gold, kind of has a very Moroccan look. I'm kind of on this kick of just using what I have, because I have this tendency of like really pretty paper. I'll just like save it, not to hoard it, but just, for quote special projects. And I feel like I have plenty of it. A pack of 5 sheets does really go a long ways, and especially for just decorative things like this. A lot of this box I was actually able to use my small pieces of scrap and get the decorative panels that I needed to create this box. But kind of my New Year's resolution for this year is to just use it up, Don't let it sit around. And so in an effort to do just that, I pulled out some of my pretty papers and decided to make this box. I don't even know who's going to get this box. I think possibly my husband. Maybe I'll put some Valentine's Day chocolates in it for him. Although the blue isn't very Valentine's-y, but it is his favorite color. So, okay, so I've got everything folded, and I did want to show real quick, there are these really cute corner pieces, and it die cuts like this, and there are 3 score lines, so you just fold on those score lines, and then it also debosses a little pattern, which is really cute. It's a very elegant box, but you could imagine doing some really fun paper piecing with this. And there's so many different ways you can decorate, just to make it more casual. Dress it up like this with shiny papers. So really, really pretty box. I'm actually very glad that I didn't skip it. I considered skipping this box, but in the end, there were a few things that I really liked about it. One being these corners, because I don't have anything like this, and the other just being that I thought maybe I could make a mini album out of it. So I'll definitely try to do that. Okay, so now that we've got everything kind of in place, what I'm gonna do is actually show you how to put this together, but also I'm gonna alter my box a little bit because I believe the intention is for the lid of the box to actually come up and detach completely from the box. But I kind of want a flip top lid, so I'm going to actually alter the design of this just a smidge so that we have that effect. And just want to just double check real quick. So I think what I want is for the larger panel to be in front, and then and you could decide if you want, because the same piece will be your bottom and your top. You can decide if you want them to be the same or different, but I think this is what I want. And so what's going to end up happening is this panel is going to go like that. And then this panel should go like that. And I'm not even using all of the decorative pieces. I'm actually, there's a piece that can go right here to decorate that panel. And there's a little fake kind of closure also. So I'm just gonna lay this out like this, just so that I know what's going on the left and what's going on the right, what's in front and what's behind. Okay, let me start by putting the main box together. So this is the main, the 2 pieces you'll need to kind of create the body of the box, and I'm gonna use liquid adhesive. So this is my favorite liquid adhesive is Lineco pH neutral, but I've heard really good things about the Nuvo liquid adhesive, and we did get a bottle of it in a previous kit. So when I'm out of my Lineco, I'll give that a try and see how I like it. But I don't want to open that bottle. I don't want to have too many open bottles of glue. I try to craft at least a little bit every day, just because I find it fun and it's nice and relaxing. But I don't make cards to sell or anything, so I don't go through my supplies super fast. So I don't want, there's always the risk, especially with glues and things like that, that it might dry up before you actually have a chance to use it. So liquid glue is nice because you do have that wiggle room, and with the sides I just like to fold it down flat because it should all meet up and line up on all sides. So you should be able to do that because it's the exact same piece that you've just die cut twice. And I do like to go in and give this a good burnish. Make sure that adhesive has a nice secure bond. And I like the Lineco pH neutral because it is very quick grabbing. So even though it's not 100% dry yet, this is that's not going to really move. Okay, next I'm going to put together the bottom because I'm not going to be tweaking anything with these pieces. And so if you don't want to make the alterations that I'll be making for this to be like a flip top lid, then you would just do the exact same thing on the bottom for your lid piece. So I'll do that part first. Okay, so basically when you look at these pieces, this is the side and this is your front, bottom, and the back. And basically what you're going to do is anywhere that there's a glue tab, you're going to stick that to a side that doesn't have a glue tab. So no glue tab goes to glue tab. These two glue tabs go to these sides that don't have glue tabs. And also the other way to tell is that the longer piece will go to the longer flap and the shorter piece will go with the shorter flap. So the kit actually does come with an instruction sheet on how to put this together, but it's not too hard to figure out, even if you didn't want to bother reading. So I'm just gonna kind of take this one tab at a time, make sure that everything is lined up really well, and I'll just continue to really dry fit everything to make sure that I've got that in good place and give that a good burnish. And I'll get this other side down. I try not to watch too many videos, but I know the Tonic design team, I'm sure, have a lot of videos up on how to do the box construction as well. What I try to do is just watch enough videos to get an idea for the what's coming in the kit, just to make a decision for myself as to whether I want to skip it that month or let it arrive. And I don't want to accidentally kind of take anyone else's ideas. So that's why I try to just watch it enough to make that decision, and then I just don't rewatch things or watch any new stuff that comes out. But I do appreciate everything that the design team puts together, because once I'm done using the kit, then I'll go and I'll kind of watch everything else that other folks have made just to have some more ideas, and that's always really fun. This box isn't very dinky. That was one of the things that I kind of wish with the Tonic unboxing videos, if they would just kind of mention it a little bit more, just dimension and size of things. It's really hard to tell from videos like what size everything is, and it seemed from their videos, I kind of had a good idea that it was around this size, but you just never can tell. And I just look at it when she shows I think when Allison shows the dies on the sheet when you get it, because I know that that's A5. So I try to gauge on kind of relative to the full sheet. But in case you're curious, so this does make a box that is 3.5 tall this way, and 3.5 in length, and then 1 3/4 in depth. So not a dinky box. You can fit a lot of chocolate in here. So it's a nice, ooh, that's a nice snug fit. Okay, so that's looking good. Just gonna give everything another, I thought I felt something move, so I'm gonna give everything an extra little burnish. Make sure it's really all adhered. Okay, so that is the bottom of my box, and you could do the exact same thing, and it would be the top, can be the top of your box. And then you can decide, because it's the exact same unit, do you want two small edges like this and two of the large edges, or mix and match. You can kind of change it up a little and get some variation in your boxes that way if you like. So once that's in, I'm gonna be able to glue this down, but I'm gonna attach my little photo corners. These are so cute. So I'm gonna take the two edges that don't have the seam and just make sure that that's what's facing outwards. So we have the pretty edges on the outside. And this gold is not actually Tonic's Craft Perfect paper. This is actually just from the scrap pack that I bought from Michael's. It's kind of cute. It's, you get like these little 3x3 and 3x6 sheets of I got like a scrap pack in foil paper and glitter, so you just get a variety of color. And I'm guessing it's just offcuts from whatever maybe they do. I don't know what they would be offcuts from, but it's sort of implied that you're not going to be guaranteed like the exact same colors every time you purchase that bundle. And it's really great because at least for me, I don't tend to like put large swaths of foil card or glitter card on my projects. I mean, sometimes I do, and then I layer it up with maybe I'll use it on the back like I've used the mirror card, and then I layer something else over top. But for the most part, these small sheets work out just great. I don't find myself needing large sheets. And then you get the variety. That's the nice part about it, is that I get a large variety of colors, and then I have a lot to kind of play with. And I don't know if it works out to be any cheaper, but certainly for the variety of color, especially like if it's a lot of colors that you don't typically use a lot, then it's nice not to have like a full pack of papers. Okay, so now that that's together, I'm just gonna use some liquid adhesive on all four sides, and I'm gonna put my main box right in here. Oh, another adhesive that would be really good for this, it would be perfect for this step, is the Kalal all-purpose glue. I've been using more of the Kalal products because I hear a lot about it on Crafter's Companion, and so I bought some just to try it out, see what it was all about, and I really like it. So I've been using the Kalal 3D glue and the Kalal all-purpose glue. And the all-purpose is it's a liquid glue, and it's not water-based. It's actually, I think, a solvent-based glue. And so what's nice about it is that it's a very slippery, liquidy glue, so you get a lot of time to move things around. I mean, once you put two pieces together, you can literally kind of slide it. Whereas the tacky glue, at least the one I use, is very quick grabbing. You have a little bit of wiggle room, and it kind of also depends, I think, on your climate too. Sometimes if you're in a climate that's maybe drier and maybe colder, it'll dry faster. But yeah, this is what the all-purpose Kalal all-purpose glue looks like. It's really nice, and when you use it for your matting and layering, it makes it like super hard. So you get like a little bit extra stability. So I think it would be really good for things like the mats and layers, and maybe things like this where we're sliding the main box piece into the bottom, and having that little wiggle room would be kind of nice. But the tacky glue is definitely going to be a very, very strong hold, because that's going to actually absorb into your paper because it is water-based. Alright, so now for our lid, what I'm going to do is put the bigger piece in front, and I'm gonna just glue this to the back panel. So I'm gonna make this alteration to snip these two glue tabs off, because we're not going to actually attach this to that. So what will happen is these two will attach like that, and that edge is just going to be free and along with that edge. So let me go ahead, snip this off, and I'm going to snip it off along with the score line, since I did score and fold it. That way you don't see that. Okay, and do I want to put, let's attach, do I want to attach this first and then this? I think I want to attach the sides first. Okay, so let's do that. So I'm gonna attach the sides first. This box comes together really, really quickly. I mean, the die cutting takes some time, granted, but in terms of the final construction, it does come together pretty fast. I mean, we're almost done. This. Oh, the other tip that I have with gluing these decorative panels on is I really like using a dotty tape runner, and then with a combination of the liquid glue. So I use the Tombow adhesive, and it's the dots adhesive, comes in the pink, and I run that in the center part of that gold panel. Like for this, I would run it right down that center, and then I use my liquid adhesive around the border, and then that way you get the nice strong permanent bond of the liquid adhesive. And this is supposed to be permanent too, but I don't know how strong it is, because it's still a dry adhesive, so there's still potential for it to dry up and come apart, whereas this is going to actually absorb into both layers of cardstock. But the combination of the two is really nice as a time saver, because it's really quick to run a line of this down the center, as opposed to having to kind of dot all of these little kind of lacy bits with liquid glue. And then on top of that, especially on something like specialty paper or foil paper, you just have a lot less glue that oozes out, and then you always have to, at least for me, I always have a little bit that oozes out, and then I have to kind of go over it with a gum eraser just to pick up all those glue bits, so that everything looks nice. So that's one tip I have. Okay, so I'm not gonna put the corners. I thought about putting the corners at the top too, but I'm not gonna do that. So, because I kind of like the idea that these are just here as like kind of feet for my box. It's almost like a curio cabinet kind of look. Okay, so then this flap, do I want to do it now or later? The other idea I had was for the closure, I am thinking I want to put Velcro, and I know Velcro is going to be kind of tacky. Let me glue this down first and just see how strong of a close it is, like if it stays shut on its own. I think it's Sam Calcutt. She does a lot of videos on YouTube for 3D construction of things, boxes and whatnot, and I think I saw her use Velcro as a way to kind of keep the lid shut on a box that she made. And I thought, oh, that's kind of neat. I've never used Velcro that way before, and I'm a little bit eager to try try it out and see. Okay, so that's closing shut. Oh, wow. That's a really nice. Oh, that's actually really nice. It fits pretty snugly. I thought it would be more loose. But look, that's staying shut. So maybe it doesn't need anything. I thought about putting just one of these. I have these little Velcro. I guess Velcro is the brand. These what are they called? Hook and loop. And they're small. It's about maybe like 1/4 of an inch or so. Yeah. And I was gonna put a little dot right here and then on the lid, but I don't think I need it because they've designed the lid to be such a snug fit that even without, you know, this being attached to the back piece, it's actually staying closed. Nice. So yeah, so you could definitely go to town and do a lot more decorative panels than what I've done here. I kind of kept it kind of simple. I mean, I'm using 300-pound cardstock, so that might be a reason why everything's fitting really nice and snug. And but you could definitely put, like I mentioned, there's another decorative panel here. You could definitely put a decorative panel here, and this decorative panel will fit this side piece too. So if you didn't want the curvature, you could also put right over top. You could put this full piece here. You could take this rectangular piece and put it here too, and that's going to make this a little thicker, which would make your box close even more snug. But then once you open it, you'll have something decorative on the inside too, whereas mine looks kind of plain, just because I just use black. And then of course you can kind of neaten up these insides by putting the matted layers down here too, and just to cover up those glue tabs. But this is a really cute box. Like I said, I'm really glad that I did not skip this. So thank you for watching my little box construction video. I still don't have a ton of ideas for cards yet, but I will definitely, if I don't actually do a proper flip of this kit, I'll definitely use it to make some cards. I just might not make that full variety of, you know, the flat layered interactive and pop-up card. But I might actually make the mini album first because I think that's going to be super cute. So we'll see. Especially since these little corner pieces I think would make really nice photo corners for your to slip your photos behind. So that's that project. Thanks again for joining me, and until my next video, happy crafting and stay safe and stay healthy. Bye.